you can go from there, right? So let me share my screen again because I do want to. I did start the YouTube video, right? But I do want to show you guys a lot of deep dive stuff, man. Like this lobster wallet really opened my eyes to so much more stuff. We've been hearing about the lobster wallet for a long time. I've been deep diving it, and it's just so much information. I really wanted to wait to, you know, bring it to y'all attention again. Now that I deep dive so much, I'ma explain more in depth. Guys, let me know if you guys are really ready to deep dive, because I'm trying to tell y'all, this is, if y'all ain't deep dive with me before, we deep diving tonight.
Hey, I got a quick question.
Yes,
And
sir.
seed the plant before we get started.
Yes.
I got about $600 worth of XRP on Uphold, and I haven't been able to get it out. Is there a way that we can get it from Uphold to this wallet?
All right. So
Or
you got
get it on
you
the
said you got XRP on Uphold, and
yeah.
you're trying to take the XRP onto the lobster wallet?
Well, I was trying to send it to my send it somewhere else off of Uphold, and I wouldn't do it. But so I'm looking for options.
You don't know how to do it, is what you're saying? Because you can do it.
No, it won't let you. Uphold won't let you get rid of your XRP.
Oh, it's not letting you get rid of it right now? Hold up. Are you sure? I just did it this morning.
I couldn't. Maybe it's me.
I literally just took 150 XRP off today. For Uphold.
And did you turn it into USD or you sent it to another wallet?
No, I sent it to my actual ledger.
Oh, okay.
So, you've done this before, right? So you know the steps.
I know the steps as far as, sending it and copying your wallet number and everything, but with Uphold, it does not seem to allow me to put my wallet to send it. You have to have a wallet on Uphold. So like I created another wallet on Uphold, but that's in Uphold.
Lisa just answered your question to I think what I was gonna say the same thing. Thank you, Lisa. She just said it does, but if you bought within like 30 days a bank card, you have to wait.
No, it's been on there for a minute.
If you bought it with your checking account, like through your checking account, you have to wait 64 days. If you buy it with your debit card, you can transfer it immediately.
I buy with my debit card. Okay. So what you buy it with?
I'm not sure because I got options.
All right, options. hey, good answer. You know how you know how you on Family Feud. Good answer. That's hilarious. Well, your options will give you many options right now to take it off the exchange if that's the case. No, I'm only saying it because I really just took it off. I really just took some coins off this morning, so I know it can't be the platform. It might be just how you purchase it. Has to be. All right.
So well, I'll play with it and update you on the next page.
Absolutely. Please update me because somebody else might have the same issue, and don't know.
And if anything, you could hit me up on the side and I'll help you out, bro.
Yo, is that O'Shane?
There he is.
Came rescue from the dead. How you been?
Bro? I'm doing well.
O'Shane, we missed you, man.
I miss y'all too. I just have to handle my business,
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I love to see it. All right.
Yeah, we figured you was just taking a house break.
Yeah, man. I had to clear up some financial issues, but we in the clear.
Welcome back.
I feel good to be back, man. I miss y'all.
Good to have you back, bro.
Yeah, I miss you too, bro.
All right, guys, let me get into this because I'm trying to tell you, it's gonna be attention needed and time to actually look through it. So we've been talking more and more about just being on a level playing field. I really encourage you guys to go watch a Bonfire Guy. And this is called The Great Awakening. This is 1 hour and 43 minutes. So if you were bored and have nothing else to watch, and if you're not bored and just trying to get educated a lot more, and this is something I've been talking about for a long time. It came out last year. I've been seeing this, but you know how you watch something over and over again. You know, just you see different things that you haven't seen or just didn't notice. So I played it again for myself because I seen something from the lobster wallet that reminded me of something I seen from this video. So it's all coming into play. What the heck? Hold on. Okay. All right. So it's all coming into play again, and I really want you guys to look at this video. This is it's deep diving. I'm not gonna obviously play the whole, hour and 45, but what I will do is play at least gonna be 10 minutes of this video. But you guys really gotta pay attention to understand it, because I'm gonna dive more into it with this lobster wallet and what it's supposed to be, trying to implement and have everybody on a level playing field, and just the lingo that they are talking about. So a lot of people might not be Donald Trump friends, lovers, whatever, but he's been doing some things in the Oval Office that some people may notice, some people haven't. So let's take a look a little bit.
If it wasn't for us being so asleep, none of this would have been allowed to happen.
Hey, Billy, stop. Okay, stop. You chill. Okay, stop.
All I can say to you is that we are responsible, all of us.
Are you f***ing kidding me? The Super Bowl?
The next 6 months are an opportunity. It's an opportunity for all of you to become the kind of hero that you've always wanted to be in your eyes.
Our agency has a very good reputation for finding people.
No offensive on the backside. We're going to have to cover that 2 and 3 corner.
U.S. Marshals suit up to get to work. They're looking for someone on the run, but not a dangerous criminal.
We're going after children.
Well, CBS 46 cameras were there during this mission, and our Megan Packer takes us inside Operation Not Forgotten.
Trust in the plan that there are good people fighting against the sickest, most evil people in the creation of evil. Come on. There are good people out there. You get up and be part of this. Everything is about Donald Trump and the abbreviation that you get with Q called D-class or deckless. Deckless is code or an abbreviation for D-class, and D-class is short for declassified. So the main people behind all of this have been the NSA.
Phone in your pocket right now might be a government spying device.
Access to everything about you. As soon as that information became available, a group of people within the military said, this is our chance.
The NSA's Security and Counterintelligence Directorate, also known as the Q Group, is the agency's internal police force. They're basically the cops or the police of the NSA. Their main job is to make sure that, their many analysts and officers and program managers are not targeted by foreign intelligence services.
There is a moment in time, and we must act upon this.
So I think Joe Biden and the Biden family are compromised. Obviously, I've referenced that I held a Q clearance. You're briefed on compromise and, who you're able to talk with and deal and do business with.
50 years from now, our great-grandchildren will look back and say, what a beautiful history we wrote together.
The minions who are running things for whoever is hidden in the background.
Mr. President.
What these minions don't seem to get is that they're just as vulnerable as we are.
Meanwhile, as the Trump-Comey storm grows, the president kicked off his first foreign trip as US leader. He's set to touch down later this Saturday in Saudi Arabia, the first leg of a whirlwind 8-day tour that will take him to Israel.
And then he went to Saudi Arabia first because he needed to. There's a reason he went to Saudi Arabia first.
All eyes are, of course, on Trump as he takes his first steps as head of state on the world stage.
Al-Walid it was the crown prince at that time. Now, he got right into the whole adrenochrome thing.
What is this shit? That stuff makes pure mescaline seem like ginger beer, man. Adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome?
You are a disgrace, not only to the GOP, but to all of America. Withdraw from the U.S. presidential race, as you will never win.
This is all because this Al-Walid got sucked in by the cabal, the 13 families, one of the three main arms of their weaponry. There are a lot of Saudis that didn't like this. They knew what was going on, and they didn't like it. But there's a lot of people that draw lines with children.
I really don't think he's the right messenger for a message, to bring a message of peace and unity to the Middle East.
Of a pretty stunning moment. Jim was talking about the publicity of this. Well, Saudi King Salman presented that to the president. It's a gold medal. The collar of Abdulaziz Al Saud is what it's called, and it's the nation's highest honor. What is the symbolism there? What is the intention as he gives him that honor? Because already what we are seeing, the grandeur of this welcome, is so different from what we've seen with past presidents.
When Trump arrived in the summer of 2017, he laid out all of the documents. That's what they did to everyone. They had folders, and the folders had all the documents.
These are some of the 33 Haitian children an American Baptist group allegedly tried to unlawfully take out of the country on Saturday.
Annalberia is a small village with a painful past. All of these girls are victims of trafficking.
There were photographs. They came with discs, CDs, and DVDs, and the CDs and DVDs had fantastic production value, and it had all of their footage doing the most horrific things. The NSA has it all on all of these people.
This was, quite a surprising move here by Prince Mohammed. I mean, most of all, this arrest or detainment of Al-Walid.
We're talking about weeks after Trump came and on his visit in July of 2017 to Saudi Arabia. After Trump left, that's when the arrests happened.
Early in November, something happened that many Saudis would have thought unimaginable. From their homes across the country, dozens of the kingdom's richest men, including members of the royal family, were swept up and detained in the gilded cage of Riyadh's Ritz-Carlton Hotel.
Well, his get-out-of-jail card is probably the priciest of them all. They're currently asking for around $6 billion from him out of an $18.7 billion net worth. So that's a tall price. He apparently is resisting that kind of a fine.
But Al-Walid is the one that sort of handpicked Barack Obama as somebody that they could work with.
Faith has always been a guiding force in our...
Nearly 20% of Americans think President Barack Obama is a Muslim. This, according to a recent poll by the Pew Research Center.
About 1/5 of Americans are not willing to even accept a man at his word when he says, I'm a Christian.
You are absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith, and you're absolutely right that is not my Christian faith.
It was this Crown Prince Al-Walid of Saudi Arabia that decided to make Obama the one that they were going to turn into this linchpin of U.S. presidents.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God?
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
and Al-Walid was arrested, taken down, and in his place was bin Salman. And bin Salman is somebody who was not okay with what Al-Walid was doing. Now, this is absolutely the truth. What happened the second day? The second day, the crown prince and the king both submitted publicly control over Saudi Arabia to Donald J. Trump. And how do you know this? Because they publicly held the sword dance ritual, which is a very, very big deal to the Muslim culture. And only the king holds the sword, who's at the very center, at the top of the podium, and who everyone else is around in support of Donald Trump is holding the sword. This is Saudi Arabia publicly capitulating, and in one of the photos that we have, it shows the Saudi king, and he looks like he's about to die. He's in so much pain at what's going on here. They just handed over the keys to Saudi Arabia to Donald J. Trump. So what is important to note is that where Trump went next, he went with Saudi as part of his team. So you need to understand, it's not just that he didn't go there and take them down and that they're never going to do it. No, they're now working for him. They're part of this team. They're part of the Q plan now. You need to wrap your heads around this.
Direct from Riyadh, President Trump took the first official flight.
And then the days that followed, Trump left Saudi Arabia and went immediately to Israel.
Defeating terrorism and creating a future of harmony, prosperity, and peace. But we can only get there working together. There is no other way.
Mr. Trump has already disappointed many Israelis. He promised to move the US embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, his next stop. However, all the signs are that won't happen now.
One thing, in fact, we can just see there, just let me stop by saying we see President Trump there wearing a skull cap, a kippah, in fact, as it's known in Hebrew, being taken to the Western Wall by the ultra-Orthodox rabbi in charge of the location. And clearly he's been asked to look at text as such, explaining the importance of the wall. What is also very interesting for viewers is the fact that he's actually standing with his wife, because men and women are actually separated in front of the wall.
Do you remember how angry most of you got when you saw those pictures of Donald Trump at the Wailing Wall? He's not a puppet for the Zionists. There are no Zionists. Remember, folks, there's just the Phoenicians. There's just those 13 families, and they're very smart, and they're very good. And he sat down with everybody in front of the camera and behind the cameras, the people that are really in power, and he laid it all out on these minions. They were balking at him, even though he showed that the Saudis had signed over, and the Israelis were balking at Trump and were not prepared to sign over. And that's why Trump stayed an extra day. Trump was not going to leave Israel without them capitulating to him.
Jerusalem, the ancient city claimed by three of the world's great religions, now central in a dispute pitting President Trump and Israel's prime minister against most world leaders. The president telling the heads of Israel, Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and the Palestinians today he will recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital, an unprecedented move breaking with U.S. policy since Israel was created.
And the sort of the how do you know moment is after visiting the Wailing Wall, Israel publicly submitted allowing the United States to move their embassy to Jerusalem.
But the president will not move the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem right away, despite a campaign promise.
We will move the American Embassy to the eternal capital of the Jewish people, Jerusalem.
This is symbolic. It is a symbolic act to show who has the power, even in the Holy Land.
And we extend a hand in friendship to Israel, the Palestinians, and to all of their neighbors. May there be peace. May God bless this embassy. May God bless all who serve there. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Step number 2 of the journey completed.
President Trump met with Pope Francis at the Vatican, toured St. Peter's Basilica.
Saudi, Israel, and then the Vatican.
Hi, George. Good morning from Rome. As you know, these are two leaders who don't see eye to eye on a number of issues. They had that very public feud during the campaign over immigration. But today, that first face-to-face right here at the Vatican, and they both seem to genuinely get along.
Vatican, and he presents to Pope Francis a massive, apparently the folder was absolutely huge, and handed it over to them and said, yeah, take your time, have a look-see. So that's what Trump is saying. I'm not leaving here until you sign some documents for me. It took the Vatican that night, and the next day they capitulated.
When you see Pope Francis with a world leader and he meets a lot of them, it's easy to read into it. He doesn't have much of a poker face, I guess. But here he is with German Chancellor Angela Merkel, happy. Here he is with President Putin, not too thrilled. See you with President Obama, laughing it up. And finally, here he is with the Trump. It looks less like a meeting, more like the Trump family passed away and they don't know it yet.
Donald Trump has a look on his face that is a mixture of victory, joy, and mischievousness.
And the two men who so publicly clashed, today ending their meeting in a handshake. Yeah, so there were no cameras inside for the meeting between the president and the Pope, but we are hearing a little bit about what they discussed. They talked about the situation in the Middle East. They talked about the protection of Christian communities around the world. A number of international affairs issue talked about here today.
And they symbolically signed off. Now, what did the Vatican have to do to sign off? You see, the Fed is controlled by a certain group within the Catholic Church who went forth and spread the teachings of Christianity. The Jesuits.
When is a central bank not a central bank? When is a private bank public and a public bank private? Sound mysterious and full of secrets? Well, that's the Vatican Bank.
Is in 1929, they hit a deal with Mussolini, the head of the fascist state. He recognized them as a real country, that little piece of land, and in return gave them about $1 billion in a day's money, compensating them for the loss of the Papal States. They said, what do we do with $1 billion? We're clerics, not financiers. They hired a guy who was a brilliant financial whiz, Bernardino Nogaro. He came in, he understood arbitrage, he understood offshore banking, he understood how to move hard assets around, investments in real estate, and he started to do that. In the middle of World War II, he said to the Pope, I need a bank. It's not enough to have correspondent banks. We need to move our money off the radar so the British and Americans can't follow what we're doing, because they were playing both sides. The Americans and Brits they were investing in, and the Germans and Italians. They didn't know who would win. They wanted to make sure they were covered. And that's the birth of the Vatican Bank. They go from an institution that can't embrace capitalism to one that suddenly has its own bank in the middle of the war.
They were in control of the Fed. So Trump did not leave until Pope Francis issued a papal bull announcing that by a certain date, the Vatican Bank, which was in charge of all, was the head executor, the exchequer of all of the earth-wide Federal Reserve banking systems in each country, would be handed over to one Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump is not Mark just the executor, the exchequer of the U.S. Treasury and therefore the Fed within the United States. He is the exchequer for Earth. He is the exchequer for the treasuries for every single country on Earth. That's what I told you earlier. No human being in history has ever been more powerful, owned more things, or richer than Donald Trump.
And we are working on that as we speak. We have conversations with various representatives of China. I believe that will all work out very well for everybody. China, Japan, the United States, and everybody in the region. As far as the currency devaluations, I've been complaining about that for a long time. And I believe that we will all eventually, and probably very much sooner than a lot of people understand or think, we will be all at a level playing field. Because that's the only way it's fair. That's the only way that you can fairly compete in trade and other things. And we will be on that field, and we will all be working very hard to do great for our country. But it has to be fair, and we will make it fair.
Since the establishment of the Rothschild banking empire that runs the world today, many have tried, many countries, many presidents, many leaders, many individuals, many corporations have tried to topple and escape the Rothschild banking empire slavery system, because that's what it is. The problem we face is that most of us suffer from cognitive dissonance, and that cognitive dissonance prevents us from believing or digesting information that we get about the origins of money, how it's made, how it's controlled, who creates it, and how it runs the world. And the Rothschild banking empire, how they've woven the spell into the education system. It's just such a beautiful and easy thing to realize why they could succeed. JFK started to print the United States notes. He did pretty much very much the same to what Donald Trump did, except he didn't have the support. He was all alone. Can you imagine how JFK must have felt when he started to print the United States notes? He couldn't talk to the media. He couldn't get his message out to the people because the media is controlled by the people that run the Fed. He's just stolen the Fed from the banking families that own the media and all the propaganda of the world. There's no way he could share his knowledge and information with the people. So very quickly, they just took him out, and the Fed took back the money, control of the money, and everything went back to normal. But JFK came very, very close, but the time wasn't right. The international media, the network that we have today, the social media, the internet, is a far more conducive environment for any leader of a country to be able to do such a thing, because the moment you do it, the entire global propaganda machine through the mainstream media will come down on you like an unimaginable pack of terriers, and they will rip you apart. And that's pretty much what's happening in the USA right now.
I just told them I've got to come over and see the fake news. Let's go. What do you have, John?
Journalists that we have in our media did a disservice to themselves, actually more than they did to this country. They did a disservice to themselves because they displayed an arrogance that is unprecedented.
We have to just go around them. We just have to go around them, and we have gone around them like nobody in history has ever gone around them.
So let's come back to Donald Trump and what he did. Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States right now, was the first individual that managed to outsmart the bankers. He did it quietly, stealthily, and without any fanfare or global news or reporting on it. He took over and basically nationalized the Federal Reserve Bank of the United States.
Now, I'm going to sign this, and it's a great honor. $6.2 trillion.
Somebody tell me who this guy is right here in the chat.
I've never signed anything with a T on it. I don't know if I can handle this one, Rich. We can't chicken out at this point, can we? I don't think so, huh? All right, thank you all.
So Donald Trump simply brought the Federal Reserve Bank into the Treasury Department, and nobody realized what was happening.
But I wanted that to be a nice signature.
Corona aid bill, the CARES bill. This wasn't hatched a month ago. It was hatched 14 months ago. This has been in the plan.
We're going to have a tremendous rebound at the end of the year, toward the end of the year. I think we're going to have a rebound like we have never seen before. Even now, it wants to rebound. You can see it, feel it.
Then he did the next most incredible move, and he appointed as his 2IC, or the guy to look after the Fed, now under the umbrella of the United States Treasury Department, that one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful and influential person in the world, by the name of Larry Fink. Larry Fink runs a company called BlackRock.
When you think about all the people who send money, they may work in one country, send money back home. They generally do that through organizations that charge 5 to 10%. Yeah. There is a need, whether it's a Libra or something else, to democratize the exchange of foreign currencies. Today, with computers and electronic market,
there shouldn't be that.
It should be 10 basis points, 5 basis points.
That
it's
makes
not
sense.
percent. And so I actually believe the idea around Libra, I don't think we need to create a new currency, but the technology to instantaneous calibrate all the currencies, that should be done.
The Fed making history today, and for the first time ever, began buying corporate debt.
All right, what y'all think about that? It's an hour and 50 minutes. Make sure you guys go check that out. What y'all think about that? That's a lot of information thrown at y'all once, but
That's it. Trump on game.
That's one slick dude. Who knew?
There's so much more to that. If you guys haven't seen the movie Trump Card, there's so much deeper things than there is right now.
That's a movie.
Just a little conspiracy. A lot of these people that we call our idols are totally opposite. There's also don't want to get too much into detail. It's on BitChute, but it talks about a lot of what the Democrats do and like real deep stuff, like nasty, like literally nasty, and with the human trafficking and like where they drink blood and stuff like that. Like it's crazy shit. Like, to be honest, like it's crazy, but
yeah, you're right. My drinking blood to feel young and all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah,
kids' blood, virgin blood.
But low-key, I think Trump is Uncle Trump is the like, to be honest, our kind of savior on everything, like financially and like stuff like that. To be honest, his son and like his family, like it's a lot of deep stuff. I don't want to get too much into detail, but just my 2 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, I love your 2 cent. I love your 2 cent. I wanna I wanna open your minds, guys. When I'm showing different things, don't believe everything you see or hear. So question everything I'm saying as well. I've been doing my own research as well. Make sure you go do your own research. Take the time out of your day to educate yourself. Educate yourself and to understand that there's so much going on around the world. This is a global thing. This is not something that's in your state or in your backyard. We talking about the world. This is global. A lot of people get stuck in a box thinking this is just what they're going on in their home. Like, no. Right now people don't have food to eat. Like, this is not a joke. People are around the world starving, have no clothes on their back, being raped at this moment. Sad to say, but things are happening around the world that a lot of people just need to open their minds, and we getting bamboozled or distracted with so much BS with TikTok and Instagram and just so much news that hits us every day, and we just gotta fut all the stuff out and focus on what really matters. And the biggest thing, I ended with the CEO of BlackRock. What is it, Larry Fink or something like that? I found the article that just came out. Somebody texted me early this morning. This article, and BlackRock's newest investment paves the way for digital assets on Wall Street, and it's all going to intertwine with this lobster wallet that I'm about to talk about soon. But Larry Fink, you guys just seen him on the last little clip of the video I just showed, and the person who appointed him was Donald J. Trump, right? And you guys can take a look at this, but if you guys been following crypto, he's one of the top people who've been. It says 5 years ago, BlackRock's chairman Larry Fink famously called Bitcoin an index of money laundering. So he been talking about crypto is not big or whatever, bashing it. We've heard about a lot of top people, but now he's on the train, right? He's on the train. So now an additional of management, the primary cash reserves, the USD coin, is a $50 billion digital asset available on blockchain, including Ethereum, Solana, Algorand, Stellar. That's the biggest one, Stellar, and pegged to the value of the US dollar. BlackRock has entered a broader strategic partnership with Boston-based Circle. Circle is a big company that you guys may have heard of. Circle also announced that, I think that, it says alongside, they raised $400 million. $400 million funding round raised by Circle from BlackRock. So you guys do your own research on the article. It's called BlackRock's newest investment paves the way for digital assets on the wall. I just want to bring this to your attention. I got so many other little clips I want you guys to really watch. It's so much stuff. Listen to this though. Listen to this. This is guys, when I tell y'all I be deep diving, this is a 2-hour video. 2 hours. When I tell you I be deep dive, this is what I do. Make sure you guys screenshot this video so you guys can watch it at a later date as well. But listen to maybe I think this is maybe 2 minutes of it.
All the time, usually as if the words being written are talking about the same thing. But are they? Is cryptocurrency the same as digital currency? So, digital currency, it's centralized, requires verification, it's not transparent, it is regulated by central banks, it has robust laws for transactions, or at least it will do with Basel III and the ISO 2022. And then there's cryptocurrency. It's decentralized, it offers partial anonymity, and it's transparent. However, there is no regulatory authority to control cryptocurrency, so therefore not very stringent laws in place. Now, I'm sure you've all heard of Bitcoin, right? Well, have you heard about Ethereum? And what about even Tether? Well, Tether's slightly different. Tether is a blockchain-based cryptocurrency which uses a bit of both Bitcoin and Ethereum's technology, and it's backed by the US dollar. This means that there are actual dollars in reserves at financial institutions to serve as collateral, the bank's capital. Tether is known as a stable coin, and when backed fully by a currency, in this case the US dollar, it has a one-to-one relationship with the United States dollar. So for every Tether that you have in your wallet, if you cashed it out, you'd get about the same amount back in cash. Now, here's the good news. The ISO 20022. Does it apply to all financial institutions? Of course it does, even crypto. So, are Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Tether blockchains ISO compliant? No, my friends, they are not. In fact, there's very few cryptocurrencies out there that actually are. The ISO 20022 ecosystem is made up of just 5 blockchain platforms that are these ones highlighted in blue, and they are to be backed by physical assets and are as follows. XRP is gold. XLM, it's backed by silver. XDC, backed by copper. Algo by palladium. And IOTA, backed by iridium. With XRP, XLM, XDC, Algo, and IOTA, the introduction of Basel III and the ISO 20022, these currencies would fall under a Tier 1 classification and therefore need to be asset-backed. There's lots of information in this chart, and don't worry about making a note of it now. All the links will be listed with this video at the end, and you can always watch it again and pause it along the way so you don't miss anything juicy. There's just so much to cram in. We're going to take a look at the top 3 in a bit more detail. These are the 3 that are most advanced in their blockchain developments. Let's take a look. The XRP Flare network will use institutional coins and a network of smart contracts. It removes third-party verification and it reduces fraud and illegal activities. Now, XRP seems to be in the news quite a lot lately. It's going through heavy scrutiny with regards to its use. Is it a currency? Is it a security? Is it neither? Well, here's a really good article to read. In fact, you only have to type XRP into a search engine, and the results are overwhelming with what you can find. Now, XDC, this is the XFIN network. It is used by Visa and MasterCard, and it's the bridge between the banking institutions and retail. XDC has been tipped to be the Ethereum killer with its smart contracts, encrypted email, even storage. It moved away from its Ethereum roots and onto its own blockchain network on December the 2nd, 2021. You can find out loads more about this ISO coin by visiting XDC and the XFIN Network's webpage. But hey, let's save the best till last, hey? XLM, the Stellar Network. Now this is the people's coin. It partnered with Visa and more recently with MoneyGram, and this is huge. Over 100 million people use MoneyGram every year. How many of those might start using Stellar when this goes public? Stellar makes it possible to send and trade digital representations of all forms of money. Dollars, pesos, Bitcoin, pretty much anything. You can even create your own Stellar tokens. Stellar will connect all those currently without banking facilities around the world, giving everyone a level playing field to be their own success story by trading with each other directly. No middleman. In the past, this was the banking system that was set.
All right. My head is spinning right now. All right, you guys following me so far? You guys follow me so far with that video?
Yep.
All right. Am I giving y'all too much information? Because sometimes I can just be like, Jay, just slow down. For real. Like, let me see.
That's good. I like it. Exactly what you gotta keep. Love it. Gotta keep the show going.
All right, remember say you gotta keep the show going.
Exactly. Yeah, let her keep rolling, man.
All right, so look, I'm gonna let this keep rolling because now it's another clip. Now we're getting into the lobster wallet. I had to do a small introduction because you gotta understand everything and how it all like connects with it. So now I'm about to get into the lobster wallet. This is a young lady. Her name is Emily, who is the CEO of the QSI, which is a company that basically weeds out all the good and bad trust lines kind of thing. That helps. You'll understand more what QSI is when I show you the documents and whatever. But this is an interview she did. This is another hour video. Deep diving. This is another hour video. I listened to the whole thing and she's so damn smart. Like, it doesn't make no sense. And she said a small clip that I'm gonna play. I think it's like 3 minutes until where she stops talking about it. But yeah, let me let it run.
Beginning of the call, we talked about Starbridge, and I was so excited about Dunbar already. But all of a sudden, I saw this. This is like I saw this about, I don't know, an hour or two ago. Like basically right when you were messaging me, I saw this maybe like 15, 30 minutes before I saw that, and I was like, holy fucking shit. So Starbridge, okay, guys, remember we were talking about Starlight at the beginning and how it's going to allow CBDCs to make all of these different transactions without all of the different signers giving them authority because they've already done it in the very beginning. Why is this crazy? Because Starbridge is the next step for Protocol 19. And I'm going to scroll down, and this is going to blow your mind, okay? So article put out today. This is by stellar.org, guys. This is not some random person who's writing this crap. Okay, so we're talking about blockchains and how they've grown in popularity, and there's a lot of fragmentation between different blockchains, and boom, lo and behold, Stellar is becoming the established interoperability layer between all of those other ones by using anchors and stable coins, okay? Okay, let's continue now. It's faster, it costs less than all the existing rails. Guys, you need to learn how to read between the lines, okay? Remember, all those skills you've been picking up doing QD codes, please bring them over to here. There's a reason why some, things called military intelligence exists. Let's take signals intelligence for a quick second before I continue. One of the most famous phrases we've all learned about is watch the water. And anybody who's been part of the Q movement knows that you're not literally sitting there going, I'm watching the water. No, it means like 50,000 other things. So take that knowledge, bring it here. If you see a phrase that says they can exchange between currencies at a faster rate and lower cost than they could on existing rails, what the heck does that mean? It means that you don't need to go to the bank and exchange freaking fiat because that costs a lot of money and is really freaking slow. So if you get rid of all that, what happens? You get rid of the banking system. This is why it's just further confirmation that Stellar and CBDCs, we're just working with the WEF, the IMF, the World Bank, all of those players, Stellar, I already said Stellar, Ripple, right? Like we have all those black hat disinfo agents saying, oh, well, because of CBDCs, they're part of the black hat operation and because this is cabal. No, you guys are freaking idiots. This tells you right here, get rid of the banking cabal. Okay, now let's continue. I digress. Okay, equitable access to the world's financial infrastructure. It needs to be a bridge. We've been talking about bridges all day. What is Project Dunbar? A bridge. Okay, let's continue. Pendulum and look, Mel, here it says flare. What is flare? That's Ripple XRP. Guys, more confirmations. And what is Pendulum? Pendulum literally is more interoperability stuff coming into the blockchain. Okay, now let's go down to these bullet points. And I'm not going to read all of them because you guys can, look at the link and read them for yourself. But let's look at the first two. Interoperate with Ethereum as the starting point. Boom. Ethereum, where a significant amount of DeFi is being built today. Transfer of value. We are talking about this pretty much the entire call. We are bringing on the Khazarian Cabal volume into Stellar. That is the transfer of wealth that we've been talking about in the QFS for years and years and years. Well, boom, here it is. Stellar.org themselves are the ones saying, yeah, we are about to transfer Ethereum's volume into Stellar. This is freaking exciting. So, okay, let's see if I can find that last one that I want to show you. Here it is. Okay, so we had talked about Starlink earlier, right? And how you can send all of these different transactions, and you're not going to need to have every single individual transaction verified and re-verified with all the different authorizations. You can just pre-authorize it in the beginning and send millions in transactions and then close it out. So before I kind of, share this a little bit more, let me see if I have, okay. So this is from meridian.stellar.org. Again, guys, this is a legit Stellar website. This was actually the video they shared when they were talking about Starlight last year. And this is one of the developers I've paused in the background. So as you see, all this really says on the screen is, they're writing all this different code and they're seeing all the transactions flow through. And what happens is there's something called a network and a channel. And I'm not too technical, so, we're not going to get too technical. We're going to get super, super high level on this, okay? Because that's the only way that I can understand technology. Network. So they're basically saying, okay, on the Stellar network, we're going to activate some transactions. And over here, what they've done is, the programmers behind it, they're doing all these test batches. And they're saying, hey, we want to send so many payments. I think this one is what? 1, 2, 3. question, to Stellar, then okay.
All right, she about to get all in depth now, with this part. So let's jump to the lobster wallet, because this is really what I want you guys to get. I have the what is this? I have the link to the website. She with a article she was talking about right here. But this is my YouTube channel, guys. If you don't follow me on YouTube, shout out to Nikki J. She helped me get 1,000 followers last week on the call. So shout out to Nikki J. So I'm gonna use my video I previously made, and I'm gonna let my video talk. But yeah, because I already did it. But we gonna just listen up, and I can just pause it as we go along. If people have questions, like, definitely stop me to stop it. Stop me to stop me talking. I like that. Let me fast forward. What is okay? All right, so this is part 2 video. I did do a part 1. This is part 2. That's goody. All right, guys, this is part 2 of how to use the Stellar Lobster wallet. So before I really jump into this wallet here, I want to show you guys how to even purchase the trust lines and what to even get. It's so many different coins and so many different trust lines out here that you don't want to get scammed by any and every coin, right? So this is the sdexplorer.com website I spoke about on my last video briefly. There are 149,000 different coins or assets, you could say, on this platform. But I want to make sure you guys understand and know that don't just type in any and every coin, because there are a lot of duplicates and there are a lot of scam coins, just like with anything. All right, so I want you guys to make sure you are doing the right thing here. So if you go here on the top right hand page, you're going to click home domain. When you click home domain, you're going to type in blockchain .indus.exchange. You're going to click search bar. Okay. So now it's searched. Now you can see all of these from 1 through whatever. It says blockchain Indus exchange here. It says these last 4, 47RO. All of these are pretty much the same. You guys can look at that there, because there are a lot of different coins that are duplicates, and it's not actually on the blockchain Indus exchange, and it's not really the actual coin. So when you're researching this stuff, make sure that they all have at least the same 47RO on the. All right, I'm gonna stop it right there. So I'm gonna this site that you guys just see that I'm on. This is the just remember, like, so a lot of people. Do everybody have a Sun wallet that we all spoke about? Months ago. Okay, so a lot of us already have a Sun wallet. So the Sun wallet and the Lobster wallet are pretty similar. So every time you can add a trust line onto the wallet. This website here is the site where you can see all of different trust lines. So I just wanted to break that down first. This is the website where you can see all the different trust lines in order to get your put them on your Lobster wallet. So if anybody was confused on what I'm showing right now, this is the site where you can just literally type in the company that you want to, purchase coins of. And this is like tokenized shares of the company. You can see which one is the legit trust line for the company. The last 4 of this, so I'll get more into how I know this and how you're able to look this stuff up yourself. So make sure you do that, right? So once you click on it, let's just go on to. I'm gonna just click Circle. Circle. Everybody heard about this company called Circle. You can purchase the coin through the Lobster wallet, and for you to get to the Lobster Wallet, you can check it out here. You can see market. You can see what the price is from XLM and all that other good stuff. You can definitely just deep dive. Deep dive market cap is just 1 million. Trust lines 5,608. So it's only 5,000 people right now, or 5,000 wallets that have the circle. That's how early we are to this space, guys. I want to show you guys a website or a company who have done a lot of deep dive research, and you can take a look at it yourselves. Quantum Stellar Initiative, and it's QSI. They have a YouTube channel with 5,000 subscribers right now. I'm going to subscribe. Make sure you guys go look at that, and they do different little videos on how to do the wallet. Different companies you should invest in. Go research the company. They also have a Telegram group where you can go and subscribe to their Telegram group and look at all the different companies that they recommend in places that are actually with the Lobster wallet and not just scams on the actual wallet. You can see there's 26,000 subscribers right now on the Telegram group. So make sure you click in this group. This is the actual group here. Don't go into any other Telegram and listen to that information. All right, so I will definitely also leave a link in here if you are an actual nerd, crypto nerd with my group organization. You'll be able to get access to this here. It's Quantum Stellar Incentive, recommended apps or recommended assets that they give. So just make sure this is not financial advice. Make sure you do your own research. Whatever responsibilities on your financial losses are not with Quantum Stellar Initiative. I don't know why I keep saying that. But make sure you guys do your own research. But they definitely give you a deep dive on the assets that they pick, assets that they've researched throughout the time of having this. And I'm going to do a little small zoom in here. I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but Aqua Network is what I spoke about. It's liquidity management layer for Stellar, and it tells you the asset name, and it tells you actually the link you're able to actually click. Because remember, I told you guys, you have to make sure you clicked on the right one. You don't want to just click on anything and you'll have any trust line, right? So you have beer token. It's hospitality, food, beverage, sports, games token. You have the Doge token here. You have Ethereum X. You have FinX. You have Fred Energy. Let's scroll down here. Some more coins here. KTH House. It's real estate development projects. I'm going to point out a couple of these. This is Stellar Art. StellarArt.com is an art NFT marketplace. So they have a lot of different coins on here to take a look at. It says also QSI recommended assets. So they recommended some of these assets here as well. Assets with yields and rewards. You guys know that Aqua has rewards on here when you do airdrops, and here are a few other ones as well. If you scroll down some more, there are QSI issue assets. These are more assets for their actual domain here. If you scroll down some more, they'll tell you which ones are actually for real estate, which ones are for the global quantum max. So you can do your own deep dive in this. And this is also telling you the Telegram group that I was telling you about earlier. So I remember speaking about Aqua on the last video, the African coin on the last video. XFin is something that you should take a look into. All right, I'm about to fast forward because I'm talking about the companies now. You can look that up yourselves. Does anybody have any questions right now so far? And I'm about to fast forward. Let me see. The Lobster wallet. And I logged into my Lobster wallet. So just go on the top, create an account if you haven't done. All right, so now I'm logging into my Lobster wallet, guys. This is the actual wallet, and you can let me try to zoom in here so you guys can see it closely. All right, so this is what the actual wallet look like. So definitely pay attention if you guys have any questions here. Done so already. Make sure you write those private keys down. And this is my Lobster wallet here. This is the interface, what it looks like here. If you click on assets, it's a very self-explanatory app. I like how the app runs. It's really smooth. You can see enter your asset code or home domain. You can see all the different assets or trust lines. These are trust lines here, guys, that I already have connected. So it's very simple. If you go on, this is my desktop. If you go to Ripple and you literally click on Ripple, right? Remember I said the blockchain index exchange is what the, trust line you want. You're going to copy this address here. You see it says copy. I'm going to go back to my Lobster wallet and I'm going to paste. I'm going to paste it there. I'm push enter. And then I already have it, which is this one right here, which is the Ripple Labs Inc. That's 0 Ripple in my account. Also, you guys can see Circle Technology, Circle Blockchain Index Exchange. I have about $9 worth of coins in there. So Circle is on there, IBM is on there, and you can add different companies as we go along. But you can see that this is Blockchain Index Exchange. So make sure you guys have the right address for each coin, because it can get tricky with different coins that's being duplicated. I tell you, every single day they change them up every single day, and they try to get scammed coins. So here is one. Let's just click on Robinhood, just because I don't believe I have Robinhood. I'm just going to click it just to, give you another example. Copy and paste. Click on assets and paste it there and click enter. Robinhood should come up. Robinhood, click add. Now you do have to have, I believe, a half of the XLM in your account to add trust lines onto your account. So let's just show you guys how to swap. So I'm going to swap some tokens. One token in particular I do want to get more of, and you should look more into the project as well, which is called Sun Gold. So you can, it's very, very simple. It tells you the available amount of XLM I have already. So I'm gonna just use 20 XLM just to show you for an example. I'm gonna switch it to this Sun Gold Index, which is, make sure this is the right trust line, guys. And I'm just gonna put in 20 again because it didn't accumulate. I changed it. It's gonna automatically put in the amount here. So 20 some, while it will get me about 500,000 Sun Gold. And Sun Gold is something you should really look into. Here's the acronym here. And the minimum received, the allowed slippage is all that right here. So I'm gonna click swap, click confirm, processing the swap. Here, it should take about 2 seconds. Shouldn't even take long. But once this is confirmed, your balance, this will show a check or a minus. Your balance, boom, it's done. This is how fast we're able to now start buying stocks or coins within these different companies, guys. It's really, really simple. Definitely go check it out. It's not hard at all. And you can you can start alerts on your phone when. Yes.
Can you make your screen bigger? Is it possible? Yeah, much better.
Things change and your balance automatically changes as soon as you purchase it. That's why I do love this app. It's really, really smooth, frequent. You can, if you want to find your, your your Stellar wallet to send the coins. I don't use this federalization here. I use the Stellar address. Literally click the Stellar address and copy and paste here. Click copy. Obviously, it's no memo required. And just paste it onto whatever, address you're sending the money from. And it should come in your wallet within less than 2 seconds. That's how fast I like it. And you guys can see now my balance changed. I now have, let's see my assets. It says assets. Let's go to assets. You can also do pending alerts if things are, if a coin has dropped or if a coin price has, went up. You can see now how many some coins I do have. I will be accumulating as time goes on, but you guys can see here it's really self-explanatory. And I want you to guys make sure you remember. All right, does anybody have any questions on the video so far?
I have one question, and that's really brief. I've been away for a while, so I'm not too familiar with Lobster Wallet. In a brief answer, can you tell me what what's different between this wallet versus any other wallet? Like, what are the quick advantages? Like, 1 or 2 advantages?
Okay,
Of getting
that's a
this
great
wallet?
question. So the Lobster wallet is a wallet where you're able to now invest in the actual companies. They've tokenized the companies. Ford, Airbnb, Coca-Cola, all the companies that you know of to this day, Alibaba, Tesla, everything. Every company is now being tokenized onto the blockchain. And it's all through XLM, the Lobster wallet. So this is why it's so big, because if I can tell me any company that's your favorite company. Like
Spitballing Apple here.
All right, let's do Apple. I'm typing it in. I'm typing it in at the top right now. When I was speaking about Donald Trump earlier, I don't know if you would jumped in when I first started it, when I had the video on Donald Trump. This is everybody being on a level playing field. This is Donald Trump making, if you deep dive a little bit on the companies or the corporations that were basically enslaving children and all that other extra stuff on the video, you can deep dive on that. I'm not going to get in depth, but Donald Trump basically was going to all these different countries and making them sign different things and basically putting everybody on a level playing field. So everybody is going to get a Lobster wallet, if you like it or not, if you know it or not. No one really is. Everything is still in the works of this ISO 222 which is going on right now as we speak. And I have a lot of different sources and information. I just don't want to throw everything at you. But the biggest thing right now is you can purchase Apple. If I scroll down, you can see all these different Apple quote unquote companies. I don't know which one is the exact domain because I have to look it up. And they give you all that kind of stuff. But you can now, these companies are tokenized. And you can see all of them say unverified right now because they have to pass the protocol 19, which was with the Stellar. So that's why I want you to question everything I say and do your own research. But the Lobster wallet has the ability to tokenize every company in the world. So Airbnb is on here. You can see, I don't know which one is the exact one we talked about earlier, which is BlackRock. BlackRock is on here.
Okay.
Asset code. Let me see. But obviously you can see there's so many different trust lines, but this is the reason why Lobster wallet is not just no original, like this not just a regular wallet. It's and you can see it's dirt cheap if you get the right one. Like I don't know, I think it's this one, which is a private equity in this. I think it's the first one. And you can see the price right now.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a good question.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Hey, Jay.
Yes, sir.
This is some bomb information. I'm going to do some research, and it'd be nice if you can come back and do another class on the nuts and bolts of this piece.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I definitely want to bring it to your attention first, and then you guys can go run and do your own research, and then that'd be a good idea. I'll come back and do it again once you guys should have more questions after you do your own research.
Excellent. Thank you.
Let me make sure I'm gonna drop this in the chat as well. This is what I was having in the video. This is the Google Drive. So oh shit. Jones, somebody sent me something. All right, paste it right there. All right, so make sure you click the link so it won't disappear, and then you can find it at your own time, because you can click on the different ones that they recommend. So Aqua is something that we all see soon as we get on a Lobster wallet, and you can literally click on it, and it'll take you to the Aqua website. So you can look it up. One last thing though I did want to show you guys was Tim. He's really big in a lobster wallet. This is another hour and 30-minute. I'll tell you, I'll be really deep diving. It's another hour and 30-minute video. You screenshot this if take a look at it. These are the videos that a lot of people don't really watch because it's so long, but it's so much good information. This man, Tim, a little small backstory. His family invented the camera. His family invented the camera, so he's generational rich. And
Wow. Okay.
he's speaking about the lobster wallet for years, but obviously he was just saying a lot of people don't either care or don't want to wake up or whatever. But he's speaking about the lobster wallet and telling people how big this is. And it's only 47,000 views because of this channel. He not Tim's channel, is this guy's channel here. He got a lot of followers. I never knew that, but definitely go check him out. But just let's listen to him really quick. Tim is really knowledgeable in the space, and he just so lax to the point where how like we've been talking about crypto for so long. It's like if somebody asks you about it, it's like, yeah, I've been doing it for so long. It's like, get in it or don't. I really don't care at this point. I'm already set. Like that's how his energy be to me. But let's check it out.
To really sort of help everyone. I know all four parts of the RV, and lobster is one of them, the digital assets that are being seized. But you can go in there and get IBM, you can get Tesla, you can go get Toyota, Honda, Ford. I mean, there's really almost a company you can't name right now. And it's really quite fascinating because I'm trying not to say the word stock market, but whatever they want to call that word, investment house, I don't know what they want to call it.
Let's call it investment house. There you go. I like that.
Okay,
let's use that for lack of a better term.
So these assets that you are allowed to acquire right now under the executive order, they are going to be needed.
The executive order that Donald Trump set. So I just want to make sure you knew that. Okay.
For the new company. So we know there's certain companies that aren't going to exist in the future. We're hearing Walmart probably won't exist in the future from what they did. McDonald's, certainly. And there's several other companies, maybe Home Depot and
all right, he said a lot of other companies, the big companies like Walmart and McDonald's won't exist in the future. Make sure you question that. Go research that kind of stuff up. Like, what is he talking about? But if you remember in the video I showed, the companies were basically selling people, like the kids, doing things that's outrageous. And these are corporations. All right, I'm going to go back.
But we don't know what's happening with Disney yet. But there were some pretty darn evil things being done, and they were orchestrating a big chunk of this. So how they exist in our future, we don't know. But those assets you can acquire, and you will most likely take those. And once Protocol 19 hits, which we're hoping is really, really quick, and it looks like it's going to be really quick, they will then suddenly become valued. And by that, I mean, you won't be able to get 300, 400 million tokens of that asset for 23 cents. You're just not going to be able to do it. So that's why we're trying to get the word out, trying to get everybody. Look, if you want to make a difference in your life and potentially generational wealth, you need to wake up. You need to get into the ball game. Particularly you Patriots. The unique thing is that the door is wide open and you're awake. But if you're not seeing all four parts or any parts of the four RVs running simultaneously, if you're not paying attention to Putin announcing the gold standard, and he even announced Nasara Jasara in Russia, that's
okay. Make sure you guys look that up. Asar Jasar. Make sure you guys look that up. I'm writing it in the chat. But yeah, that's a good point. All right, go back.
Coming. It's coming quick. I mean, they already washed everyone's debts. So in their country. So they're going to gold-backed rubles. China's going to gold-backed yuan. Everyone is going to gold-backed. That's part of the new rules. So that's what lobster is really about. It's about allowing everyone into this new investment house. But you do need to jump in. Again, I don't make a thing on it. I'm just trying to wake people up. I'm trying to help everyone. I've been now lecturing on different sites for, I don't know, over a year now. Mel's pretty much taken me to, excuse the osprey flying over. That's the military. So the unique thing is that you have an opportunity. You just need to decide. Do you want to go a little bit out of your comfort zone? Literally $50, $20, $100 can make a big difference. It's really sort of like buying a little bit of XRP, which, by the way, you can now buy XRP on Lobster. But
there are a lot of fake ones, I understand. Is that correct?
Yes, there's a lot of fake ones, but the Vechain.io is the real one. And so it's sort of just a storing house. They're just allowing you to store it there, and then you'll take it off site later on. And but you're also going to see all kinds of other things, which Emily mentioned, and you guys should watch those videos too, because they are enlightening. This is a rapidly changing, all positive, no negative. We post. I'm not a part of the QSI team, but I do talk in there, not talk live anyway, but I do post stuff in there. I do answer some questions here and there, but primarily I'm just running around to different talk shows and trying to wake everyone up, because there's a lot of patriots, and I think that's why we're being let in the door, because they could have kept this all secret and then announced it all, but they didn't. Just like XRP. And when we had Navy SEALs, we had Trump's team on Telegram talking about, well, where should I buy XRP? How should I buy XLM? But they're really giving you the answer in the question. They say things like, oh, should I go on to Uphold and buy XRP there? I mean, instead of saying, well, where can I buy Uphold? They're actually giving you the answer in the question. And I found that really quite hysterical, that this is how they're waking people up.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, Tim, right now, Uphold seems to be the sure bet, because if I send somebody and they make a mistake, they're going to point their finger at me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So until we have people in place and we have a foolproof plan that we could have, the Emilys of the world and the Tims of the world, and maybe a few more like you guys that could literally walk people by the hand so that they don't make mistakes while we wait for the Protocol 19, which I'm going to ask you a little bit about that. But I want to ask you one question. How and why are the corporations being liquidated into tokens like Tesla, for example? In your own words, speculation, factual, give us what you think.
Well, basically, they had to come up with a forensic accounting of the entire company, all of its assets. So normally in a stock, they're coming up basically the value is coming up based upon the profits. But now, because there was some, let's just say, some bad things done, which everyone will find out in the 10 days of martial law coming. What that day is, we don't know, but it will be soon. Certainly looks like it. But those companies got caught. And so what they did is they did an accounting of all of their assets. They had to put a value to them. So they released so many tokens based upon that value. And they're tokenizing those assets for us to go in and acquire. Of course, Lobster is a wallet, so you can hold them there. It is being run by Space Force. And
Space Force. Who owns? Does anybody know who owns Space Force?
So you don't venture, you won't gain. But the nice thing is that we do provide lists out there that anyone really with any modest, I mean, once you get past getting the XLM or the stellar lumens onto Lobster, that's probably the hardest part. I mean, because when you're provided an address and you just go to add assets and you type in jp.indus.exchange, you can see all the Japanese assets in one list. And you see SoftBank, Sony, Toyota, Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, so forth and so on. And you can just go and decide, how many XLM do I want? And it'll tell you how many tokens you get for each one of those. And all those companies look like they're going to survive. And even if they don't survive, like let's say McDonald's, you still have value. It's not like you just bought some randomized tokens that have no value. Those are attached to an asset. So the asset has a value. So you'll be able to cash those out. And what I'm telling everyone to do on the other small groups that I chat at too, I got a huge one tomorrow, which is going to be a nightmare. But that's 36,000 people tomorrow. You probably will end up selling your McDonald's and rolling that over into more XLM, most likely. I'm telling everyone to do that.
Or XRP. Or XRP.
Well, most people have some XRP. Yeah, they could buy some there because most of the people there already know sort of what to buy. But if you're buying some of those assets that won't exist in the future, you could cash them in. Also, the nice thing about Lobster is, unlike a bank, you can roll them over into yielding accounts, and some of those yielding accounts they're 4 to 9% interest. That's huge. And you're getting the interest daily. Obviously it's broken out over the 9% for the total amount for the year, but you're getting them daily. So it's which means you can then immediately, if you wanted to take those little pieces off, acquire more assets. So it's like everything is at your hands, immediate disposal. And so you can choose however you want to use your money. And from what we're hearing, no taxes. So you can just keep going and going and going and decide where you want to sit in this. How long do I want to play this game?
Yeah, my phone rang off the hook the minute you said something about Tesla. I know my friend Patrick called me, my Italian friend from New York, New Jersey. All the paisans. Hey, how do I get this? I got people that are really cool, but they're like my wife. My wife is almost borderline, digital asset junkie. You know what I mean? She's got.
All right, this is an hour and some change. I just wanted to show you guys briefly, but I hope this is making sense. I hope this is making sense, guys. I hope this is making sense. It's a lot of information I threw at you, so if you have questions, jump on right now. And ask. This is recorded as well, so make sure you go back to the recording if need be. Let me stop it right now.
Hey, Jay.
Yep.
You just opened up a can of super sauce. We got to come back. We got to do our study on this and come back on this, because this is it right here. This is it.